tonight.
Yeah, that came out today that was going to be happening, but I'm probably more interested to see about how this game plays out on the field. I think obviously that woman on screen is going to be an absolute game breaker for the Titans, and Ali Brigginshaw is one to watch for the Broncos.
So away we go in the third Queensland derby between the Broncos and the Titans, and they start with a gift here, the Broncos. They get it back from the kickoff, and this is sometimes tough finding your bearings on an oval with the rugby league field stuck in the middle.
Yeah, that can sometimes be the case. Jorgensen, who we saw a couple of weeks ago have a great game for the under-19s Queensland Origin team, is a very smart kick from the Broncos. She tries to play at it, but that was always going to head over the sideline there. So this gifts the Broncos with a midfield scrum a great opportunity to kick the game off with a bang.
Jorgensen a late in for Canfield, who'll be out with an ankle injury. No looker from Broughton to Sizolka. And they're inside the red zone here with their first possession, the Broncos. There's the change in the front row. Bree Eales a starter with Leonard Ducey dropping back to the bench. Broughton again, down in front of Brigginshaw. Nice pressure applied. Williams Guthrie jamming in.
This is what she's so good at. This is what I wanted to see. Oh, here, is this being stripped?
One-on-one.
See whether it's been advantage has been played on, because there was a shoot up on that right edge defence from the Titans.
Nice work by Brill, jolting the ball free legally according to the referee Belinda Sharp, and I suppose they don't deem it a knock on by Brigginshaw when the turnover of possession happened initially. So it is Broncos ball, 15 out, centre field scrum. And Broughton comes across right-hand side, uses a decoy as they go to Sizolka.
That's a great matchup to look out for tonight. Sizolka up against Jamie Chapman.
Once again, it's Eales to set things up. It's their second game in NRLW.
Is she related to Johnny?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that'd be a great story.
Here's Hufanga. Caught the eye last week with amazing stats, up over 160 metres run, and they contain her here. Elliston and Jorgensen, the debutant. Asala with some go forward here. Former Warrior and Knights forward. And right up the middle they go again. No way through for Denman. So the Titans defence standing tall here early. Now a test to Zolka. Tries to get a winger on the outside, and they do have the first try now. The first try in the career for Lauren Dam, a former Titan, back to haunt as a Bronco.
Well, I really hope on the Harvey Norman replay we get to see a high shot of this, because the numbers from the Titans, they were caught really short. You can see where the second rower is standing really close to that post there. That is your cue that there is space out wide. And when you've got pace like that out wide, execution is all you need to get right. And just looking at this angle here, this will be another great one to look at it. Just a bit of disconnect in the defensive line for the Titans there, and the Broncos take full advantage.
Yeah, as soon as she shot up out of the line, that then gave the Broncos the opportunity and the space. And Sizolka, I just mentioned her before in that matchup with Jamie Chapman. She's got so much skill, Sizolka. She's unbelievable. Have a look at this. The half shoots up, and then Sizolka's already on the outside of Jamie Chapman, and a nice little offload to a winger. But they're the opportunities you can't gift to these outside backs. You need to have connection within the defensive line to be able to shut down those outside threats, and they didn't have it in that instance.
Tough conversion attempt for Brigginshaw, bending it back, not quite enough.
Time off. Stay on side here. Stay on side. Wait for it. Wait.
So the opening 4 minutes dominated by the Broncos, who lead at 4-0. A chance for us to get down to the sideline with Darren Lockyer.
Evening, Speedy. Yeah, it's perfect conditions here. 20 degrees here tonight. You can see that the Gabba pitch is it's outstanding. Like, so we've got fast pitch. There's no juice, so the ball be able to. Both the teams be able to use the football. Now the Broncos got away to a great start and they get a penalty
Go back
here.
to her.
Last
You're
week
out,
they were a
and
bit
then you
slow
go
out
back
of the
to
blocks
her.
for the Roosters,
Hang
but
on, I'll
perfect
give you
start
one.
for them tonight. While for the Titans, defence was something their coach mentioned before the game, and they failed their first assignment down there.
They did well against the Cowboys last week, Gold Coast. 16-6, they beat the new team. And the Broncos lost to the Roosters, who were so impressive in that 36 points to 18 victory. Tasman Gray, one of the stars there. Isn't she playing sensational rugby league right now? The 27-year-old. And Sala, heavily involved and good contact. Rayleigh Nati and Elliston. The Titans have only been tackled once in this game so far. It's a domination of possession. Broncos have been tackled in the mid-20s. Nice chip and chase. Sazolka has options, goes inboard for Maddock, the fullback. And what a dominant start this is from Brisbane.
That was outstanding from Ali Brigginshaw, and if you can cast your mind back to round 1 against the Roosters, she did a chip and chase, regathered for herself and scored, but I loved this variation. Great identification of what the Titans' defence were doing. She could see Ivania Politi nice and deep, and that pace and timing from Shanae Sazolka was absolutely brilliant, as to the support play through the middle from their fullback, Maddock. The precision, the kick option here from Ali Brigginshaw, the timing from Sazolka, and that support play route. Footy doesn't get much better than that.
No, it was absolutely beautiful, and the Harvey Norman replay has showed it absolutely perfectly. You can actually see what Ali's cues are when she looks for that chip kick. The cue is you can see the winger up in the line, you can see the fullback closer to the post and a little deep. That's the opportunity. Look at this shot here. This high shot will show it perfectly. See the winger. Because the winger thinks they're going to run it, she's sitting up in the line. Brigginshaw has a wonderful touch with the footy, an excellent play through the middle, Maddock just pushing up. But that is exactly what Scott Prince would be wanting to see out of his Chargers to start this game. Big energy, pushing up around the ball and just taking every advantage of every opportunity.
Second career try for Hayley Maddock. Going inboard to the fullback made it easier for the conversion attempt here for Ali Brigginshaw. And it is 10-0 to the Broncos.
Wait for it. Wait, Shante, wait. Make sure you're on side.
Well, what a dream start it is for the Broncos here at the Gabba in Thursday night footy. Oh, Brigginshaw has backup. That goes backwards and it's still alive for them. And now that is 30 tackles made by the Titans, one made by the Broncos. I've never seen a stat like it.
Well, just unfortunately, the issue for the Titans is they had 2 errors to start off, and I actually was a bit unsure about whether that ball travelled forward or not, but it's play on, and the Titans' errors have really cost them field position, tackle and ball in hand, but the Broncos, they look sharp.
Look at that possession, 95% to the Broncos.
The meters, seriously,
it's outrageous. But they're doing really well. I think what the Broncos are doing through the middle, a couple of changes of direction, some good forwards passing through the middle. Nice kick option. This is the one they have to worry about. Ivania Politi, keep your eyes on her.
Well, the issue just there, the early kick was on, but the defensive line for the Broncos wasn't up to it. Look where Politi, she caught it on her own 30 and she travelled almost 20 metres, and the first tackle was made just before halfway.
So field position is good here for the Titans, looking to hit back. There's Minor Sinapati involved in everything on her debut last week, including getting across the try line eventually. Had some disallowed as well. And Shannon Martor with more go forward. Setting up to go right-hand side here. Elliston right up the middle. And Eventually stopped by Eels.
Wait.
The Nati scouting things at dummy half. Goes the Kiriaratu. And well tidied up by the Broncos after the initial inadvertent trap, if you like, by Tasman Gray.
Yeah, she did well, Tasman Gray, but I think the timing of that kick was probably a little bit off.
Get up now!
Needed to be a split second earlier.
It's a big test tonight, isn't it, for the teenage halves for the Gold Coast?
Oh, absolutely. And you have a look at the halves that they're coming up against. Gail Broughton and Ali Brigginshaw, two of the absolute best in the game. But they'd love the challenge. This is great to see where they're at.
Brigginshaw. And for Tyson, who's been cut out so far on this side. Nice contribution onto Dam again. Running out of room. Able to step back inside and do the discipline thing. Coach Scott Prince was preaching discipline heading into this encounter after it let them down last week. Broughton tumbles one to Bass. Awkward. Let it bounce, and there's a chance here for the winger. Fongavini put real pressure on Bass.
She's a big body too, Fongavini. I thought she had a really good season last year, and good to see her getting a start here tonight. Obviously not under the circumstances, but good to see her out there.
So 10 minutes gone. Broncos leading 10-0. Here's Jorgensen, the debutant, who didn't stand much of a chance once that kickoff dropped in space, and earns her team the penalty here. This week is Harvey Norman Women in League round in NRL and NRLW. Let's celebrate how far we've come whilst recognising that we're far from done when it comes to gender equality in rugby league. Head to nrl.com/women in league to find out how to play your part.
Okay, this line, front foot. 2 feet here, wait.
Great story that you highlighted pre-game, Alana, about Ivania Politi teaching some of these players last year and now playing with them.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I think it also brings a little bit of highlight to the pathways within women's rugby league at the moment. They would have been able to play footy within school and outside of school, mind you, but just to continue to this level is outstanding. But what a special moment for Varney to be a part of that.
Martour knocking up the footy over the top. There's Denman. Now Georgia Hale, ball playing lock. A nice combination here for Bent. Running off Lofipor. Middle they go. Hale and Martour combining this time. So on the final play, they will go to the left-hand side. Lofipor over the top. Minor Sinapati kept their eyes on the footy, but couldn't come down with it in the end.
Knock on Titans, field of play.
Well, it was a much better set from the Titans. I think the influence of Georgia Hale in playing that lock position. They looked much more threatening, a nice little kick, just didn't stick, Roo.
No, I actually would have liked them to just look up because the left edge of the Broncos was stripped. Tasman Gray made the tackle right in under the posts, and they actually had numbers out on their right-hand side. So a slight missed opportunity there, but they have certainly warmed into the task after a little bit of a rocky start.
Vinny coming in off her wing for work. 5th game for her, and she's coughed it up here as the Titans celebrate.
Well, this is where I think the Titans have actually started to get themselves back into the game. I've seen some really good contact in defence. They're really getting their bodies in front. They're putting decent shots on. And here, they're just that contact, that weight of body on top has forced the ball free from Fongavini. This is a wonderful opportunity. Again, midfield scrum. We see a lot of space open up on these midfield scrums, Fergo, with the leg speed of some of these outside backs.
Yeah, I think that's the danger, is finding those strike weapons with power and speed.
Here's Politi trying to get on the outside and corralled by Hufunga, and then the support came from Broughton defensively. Really slow play the ball. Martour had to stretch, did well on the juggle. Not the service a front rower needs with the defence rushing up. Kiriaratu, short side. And Williams Guthrie sets it up beautifully for Bass, and the Titans bounce back.
This is exactly what I was after. And M. Bass, she points to the spot as well. That's a try celebration. We'll take that one. And Niall Williams-Guthrie, her pace, her ability to get the arm free for that lovely out-the-back offload. The Harvey Norman replay will show it beautifully. Kirioratu takes the line on. They've got numbers here, the Broncos. It's just that brilliance of Guthrie in and away. Hufunga, who is a very strong defender, she just gets caught on her heels because of the pace that Niall Williams-Guthrie plays with. Look at that offload. Oh, that's magic.
It is. It's very special. I think they need to give a few raps to Shannon Mato because she caught a ball that she probably shouldn't have in the play before that, but the space that they opened up, the nice and early pass from Kirioratu to her centre, Williams-Guthrie, which is going to be key. She's got power, she's got strength, she's got speed. You look at it here, how nice and early she gets the footy, so she's got that lovely left-hand palm. Still took the footy into the line to allow that offload to pull off, but early ball is the key, and it worked brilliantly for the Titans then. But again, off the back of discipline, poor discipline from the Broncos, gifting the Titans these opportunities. That's a part of the game that let them down against the Roosters last week, and they're going to have to clean up pretty quickly if they want to stay in this contest.
Think back 5 days ago, Bass went off with about 15 minutes to go. We feared for her shoulder injury. Scores a try here that is unconverted.
Sorry, negotiation.
The conversion is unsuccessful. Scorelines, Brisbane Broncos 10, Titans 4. In change for the Brisbane Broncos, leaving the field number 8, Nera Nurosala. And replacing her, number 16, Brianna Clark.
Stay on here.
5th career try in just 9 games for Bass, the former Bronco.
Time you run.
Celebrating that one nicely with the referee's whistle of her own. Titans back in the ball game after popping up 10 points with barely a touch of their own.
You touched on that shoulder injury that she caught last week. She also obviously stemmed from Origin a month earlier, and even on Tuesday there was a bit of uncertainty whether she was going to be able to take the field. So it's great to see her out there and scoring points. Look at these sets, the last sets. 4 of the last 5 with the Titans, whereas to start the game it was all Broncos.
It's a rugby league myth that says possession does even up eventually. It's starting to do so on that front. Short side run here for Polisi. And the winger Dan did well, came in, left Minos in a buddy unmarked and got involved in the tackle. Really good signs here for Karen Murphy's side, the way they've steadied after the horror start. Marty eager for a quick play the ball to give room to Kirioratu. Look at the height on that kick. Good luck catching this. They let it bounce. And Hufunga, right place, right time to tidy up.
Well, you spoke about, Fergo, the matchup between Sizolko, penalty. This Murph won't be happy with that one.
The whole line.
The matchup between Chapman
It's not a quick
and
one.
Sizolko
10-metre penalty.
on the near
The whole
side,
line.
but the far one.
Both centre
Guthrie and
matchups
Hufunga,
are outstanding, aren't they?
That I'm actually really excited to see how that one unfolds tonight.
Let's get down to Lockie.
Well, the trend in the game, you give away a
Front foot
penalty,
here,
the
front
opposition goes up the other end and dominates the game and sometimes comes up with points. And the Broncos, it's a real trademark of Scott Prince when he played, pulling width and then turning players back under and just spreading the defence around by getting some width with your formation. So just watch the Broncos go to work here.
Scotty Prince, an assistant coach of the Broncos for 2 seasons, 2018 and 2022, and now the main man in charge. They won 3 comps back to back. The Broncos, the start in the NRLW. Struggled last year, and a high shot here. Martor with a lazy arm over the top.
High tackle. Yep.
Quick tap here as well from the Broncos. That one definitely collected high. But again, Lockie just spoke about that penalty and travelling upfield. Tackle 1, the Bronx are on their own 40-metre line with some really great run shape out wide. Look how deep they are. Yeah, that's just the replay in the corner of Martor.
Brianna Clark out there in the number 16 jumper, already a hero in this fixture in Titans colours. Broughton, brilliant. Sizolko has pulled the right rein out on this right edge. She's seen plenty of ball here and played her part already with a couple of try assists. Right up the middle, those Eels. 2 plays left. Maddock. And Teitzel, what a tackle down low. That's outstanding by the debutant. First start for Loffy Paul, played last week as a replacement player. Played cameo. Now Brigginshaw, kicking behind, well read by Bass.
Well, we've seen a lot. That was a nice little tackle. We've seen a few options now with Sizolka and Dam open up on that Broncos right edge. And I actually think it's the way that the Titans are defending the Broncos, because they're seeing Gale Broughton as such a dangerous running threat, which he is, but that's creating that little bit of open space for the centre and the winger. They've got plenty of opportunities left in them, I think, the Broncos over on that edge.
Brigginshaw up in the face of Elliston, who went over the top of the champ. Got a quick play the ball as a result. Nice ball playing, Martor for Hale. One more pass and it might have opened up. Important tackle by Denman. Kiriaratu advances and tries to drop it into space. And sits up kindly for Maddock on the second bit.
Now this is where I really want to see the Titans compress their defensive line and stay disciplined. Get that line speed up, try and pin the Broncos down in their own half. At the moment, both teams are finding really easy metres through yardage, and I think just a little bit more line speed and discipline there will really see the game turn on its head.
Don't forget, same venue later on tonight in the NRL. It's the Broncos against the Roosters on 9's Wide World of Sports. Brigginshaw, Teitzel, seeing more of it. Sizolka chimes in. And Minor Sinapati, one of the several teenagers in the starting lineup for Gold Coast. Did well to wrap up the footy. Slow service for Brigginshaw. Tumbles it down again, a kick. Hits the deck. Lenarduzzi just on for Brill. Wow.
Forward pass.
Thought that was okay.
Last tackle, handover.
Titans will take that decision.
It was made to look worse as well because she was falling away as she threw it, so it will exaggerate any kind of movement. Yeah, that one slightly forward. But the Titans get the opportunity to work out of their own half, and we're seeing some really strong D out of the Bronx outfit.
Get square, hold, hold.
How good has the swimming been? Now Aussies lighting up the pool at the World Aquatic Championships in Fukuoka, Japan. Don't miss gold medals galore on 9 and 9 now this week. Heats start daily from 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and finals begin at 9 p.m. daily. Titmus going for goal. Here's Steph Hancock, who keeps on going for goal as well. Fabulous player from Bronco, of course. A lot of players taking on their former club tonight, including Chapman, who was caught high. It was tough on Dam as Chapman was falling.
Just wait. Hang on. Stay on, Britt.
Bunker just had a little look at it, Dave Munro, and no further sanction required.
No, she's had a good game, referee, Belinda Sharp so far.
Come on, Jamie, wait on.
Ref the World Cup final last year as well.
She's a great referee.
Hold! Release it now! Wait!
Inside the Westpac red zone they go, the Titans. Looking to level this one up with a converted try.
Yeah, the Broncos won't fall for that offload.
Did you see that? In the same
Did you see that? Swarming.
We know you too well, Steph.
Kiriaratu, lovely take. Oh, look at the footwork! Avadia Politi! What a player!
What an absolute freak. This is one of her trademarks, but how do you stop it? I do not know, because the pace that she changes direction is absolutely lightning. Here we go. Another. Stop it! Stop it! Look at the smiles. How good is Women's Rugby League? This is exactly where you want to be on a Thursday night, sitting back and watching this. But Avania Politi, she's an outstanding football player. I think this is actually one of her attributes that comes from Rugby Sevens, to be able to change direction and explode that quickly. That power, her identification with the defensive line when they are that little bit flat-footed. What a player, Roo.
Yeah, and that first angle on the Harvey Norman replay was magic, because you can actually see the run shape of the Titans, and then you can see the defensive decisions that the Broncos line make. Hufanga shoots up to try and shut down that ball from going out to Williams-Guthrie because she's such a threat. And Politi is able to slice back through that middle with that hard right foot step. And her physicality is just so impressive. And, you know, I think we've said this last week as well. Fullback, I love seeing her at fullback. She is just getting her hands on the ball more frequently, creates more opportunities. Look at that. And she's so well balanced.
I'm with you at fullback. I actually think Ivania Politi prefers to play at centre, but that blows my mind because we get to see her play so much more footy and her identification on when to actually join the attacking line, whether it be to join the back line and to deliver the perfect pass or like we just saw then, she just does it perfectly.
This young lady's contribution to that try was outstanding as well, and converts to level things.
The conversion is successful. It's equal to the Broncos 10, the Titans 10. Interchange for the Brisbane Broncos, leaving the field, number 5, Destiny Brown. And replacing her, number 17, Lavinia Gould.
Chelsea, stay on. Hang on, Bree. Hang on, Bree. Stay on. Stay on side.
What a start to this derby. It was all the Broncos early on, but the Titans have hit back stylishly here, Lockie.
Yeah, 10 points all. There's just over 10 minutes to go in this half, so I think both coaches would like to take some sort of momentum into the half-time break. I think the message would be discipline. No penalties, no errors, because I think at the moment the team that does that the best is winning the contest. There's an offload from Hancock.
Oh, a poor pass by Brayley Narty,
First one,
who
Titans.
knew there was an opportunity after that offload from Hancock, but couldn't make the most of it. So there is the error that Lockie was saying neither coach would want to see.
And the Broncos just clocked off there. They thought Steph was going to ground, but she was able to get the arm free and flick that pass back. And it is a shame there for the Titans because they were starting to generate a little bit of momentum there. But a midfield scrum here again. I really like the midfield scrum in the women's game because we get to see some raw talent on display.
Yeah, Broughton right behind the scrum here with the ability to go left or right.
Clock off.
Just assessing the numbers, no doubt.
All in.
Riggenshaw
Break.
feeding it. Broughton does go left. Lavinia Gould has just come on and was locking that scrum. The veteran.
Help!
Two-time premiership player in 18 and 19, Lavinia. Finds Lenadusi. So a couple of veterans coming off the bench today for the Broncos.
And we haven't seen Lauren Brown yet for the Titans starting on the bench.
Riggenshaw throws the dummy, enters the red zone. Second phase footy for Gould. Puts the head down, tries to burrow under Georgia Hale. Gray for Lenadusi. The try scorer in this fixture a couple of times. Gould now, nice option back against the grain for Bree Clark. No way through. Broughton. Right side attack has been lightning so far. Hadn't contained this time, and she'll have to hand it over.
Good shutdown defensively, and you know, just speaking of that, I can see Lauren Brown and Caitlin Phillips on the sideline about to come on for the Titans. I think they actually really read that one quite well, Fergo.
Yeah, they did. I was actually thinking when I saw the team list and the change in Lauren Brown being starting on the sideline, it was clever from Karen Murphy because she's got a new halves pairing in there. And whilst Lauren Brown's been playing hooker for a while now, she's actually got the versatility where she can jump into the halves. So she's obviously had a look at her halves pairing. She's happy with how the dynamic's working. And we see Lauren Brown jumping into that hooker role. Here they are again. A nice quick tap. Is that Jamie Chapman? No, that's Lauren Brown. There you go. How good. That's why she looks fast.
And we're going to see that a lot throughout the extended season now with a 9-game home and away campaign. There'll be a lot of chopping and changing to keep people fresh, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot of footy, a lot of high quality footy as well. But yeah, I like that from Murph.
24-player squads in the NRLW. They'll all be used, you'd imagine, throughout the campaign.
It also gives her the ability to give Hale a rest and bring Brayley Narty on into that ball-playing lock roll.
Nice service here for Hancock. Really winding up with Steph, taking them inside the red zone. It's a slow play, the ball, arms locked up. Denman given the all clear. Roffy Paul changed the angle of attack, but first touch for Parisi. She'll have to hand it over. Making her debut, another teenager. Was called into the 17 yesterday with Laker Clark ruled out.
I thought no kick on the last was interesting then. Given there wasn't a genuine attacking option, maybe if they had an overlap on one of the edges, maybe they were unaware of the tackle count. But that's good, turning up numbers in defence. There's 4 of them in there, driving Suzolka right back.
Riggenshaw going nowhere either.
This is good stuff from the Titans. Now they just need to stay disciplined, stay with Belinda, and press.
Great awareness by Hufona, since the team needed something special out of yardage. Picks up 10 metres on that play. And now Dam off her wing, trying to bust them. Phillips making the tackle and just holding it down long enough. No way through for Gray either, so a good defensive set from the Titans. Williams Guthrie a little proppy there. Broughton under pressure here, deemed to have knocked it off.
Great defensive set from the Titans. That was a ripper. Murph will be so happy with that one.
Play the ball.
As we can see, I'm just watching the background.
Where you are,
mentioned
Chelsea.
Williams Guthrie, and I think it might be Steph Hancock as well. They may have collided. A little bit of friendly fire, but we're just watching the replay of that pressure pass.
That's a rubbish pass from dummy half.
Lavinia, up against space.
Very unfortunate for Gal Broughton to have been delivered that, but this is a massive defensive set for the Broncos.
Pass behind Chapman, did well to adjust and back her way a couple of metres after contact. Shaylee Bent, the former Dragon. Now a Titan, finds her front. Brown goes centre field for Hale. Eyes up footy, isn't it, when Georgia Hale has the footy, the captain. Going to put that defence in 2 minds. Lofty Port. And Bent running off her. So a couple of hit-ups for Shaylee in this set. It is the last now. Who's taking command? Oh, Politi tried to crash her way over. And the Broncos did well with their defensive stand.
Well, it wouldn't have surprised me if she caught and scored a try like that, because everything else she's touched has turned to gold. But the Broncos were up to it. I think the pass looked like it was really hard, so it was obviously looking to go on the hammer out wide.
What a beast, Ruby. She's so good.
Hold!
You'd expect Shannon Marto to do that, but not your fullback. How good.
5 minutes to go before half-time. Important phase of the game now that we're all locked up at 10 apiece.
No more!
Vinny and off the left wing. Has the ability to play in the forward, so a bit of a stopgap measure playing as a winger tonight. How did that come out? It's play on for the Broncos.
It was definitely an offload, but it did appear there was a Titans hand involved as it came out, so I think the Broncos are unfortunate not to get a set restart.
Rawton tumbles it down. Bass tries to take it on the full this time and achieves that goal.
Millie, up now! Chelsea!
Got away with letting one bounce earlier. Oh, where's the option? Kiriaratu had no one to the open side. Politi down the short side. And there's some interested spectators at the Gabba. Ahead of that game later on tonight in the NRL. The Roosters on enemy territory taking on the Broncos. That's for them to get familiar with the conditions and sightlines here at the Gabba. Chapman on the outside. Great awareness, running out of room. Check back inboard. Bent again, her work rate going through the roof here at the back end of the first half. She saw after that one. Kiriaratu. Not many metres gained. Bass underneath it. And now under pressure. Not the end of the set they wanted that time either.
No, she's been getting plenty of height on her kicks, but not kicking through the ball, so the distance is a bit of an issue.
she is a right foot
No,
kicker.
where she is. Where she
And
is.
just watching her line up for that kick, what I've noticed the last couple of times, she's basically facing the sideline, Fergo, instead of facing more towards that corner post.
Yeah, she just got to kick through the ball. Through the ball.
And the sides thing is interesting because Lofipor, of course, was kicked out of the team last week by Fui Moana, who was injured and hopefully will be right to go next week. So maybe they're both right-sided halves and Kiri Ratu has to play left side tonight. As Teitzel runs off Brigginshaw. Short side for Maddox. Trying to create the overlap. Sazolka doesn't go to Dan this time. Back to her fullback. How damaging are they looking right-hand side? Those two.
It's opening up because Maddox also jumping in as a ball-playing first receiver on the short side, and that frees up the halves to play footy together on the long strips.
Brigginshaw goes to Broughton. Important tackle to be made here, and Kiri Ratu takes down her opposite number. It is the last. Noor Asala adjusted nicely for Brigginshaw to go crossfield. Minal Sinapati gets a 7-tackle set for her team.
Over in the middle.
She was the rookie of the round last week, apparently, and we saw her have a great game in the under-19s, and she was so strong for the Titans last week and showed a lot of composure there as those Broncos outside backs were on her hammer.
Williams-Guthrie. And the bruises being established in this opening 35 minutes here. There's some sore players already. The game very much in the balance heading into the second half. No offload this time for Steph, just yet anyway. Slung to ground by Teitzel. I think Steph appreciated the treatment. It's Parisi. Already played for the Prime Minister's third team last year. NRLW debutant. Kiri Ratu. Williams-Guthrie setting up Bass again. Well done, Fongavini. Kept in somehow for Politi. And now Kiri Ratu tidies up, but knocked it on. Or did she?
On the ground there.
I think Politi is down over the sideline,
okay?
just having a look in back
Put a
play.
top on yet.
She hasn't moved since that contact, and there's a hand up calling for the
Hang on.
trainers, so we'll watch this one with interest.
That is not good news. Not good.
Has that leg heavily strapped. Whether that concern has been aggravated here.
Possibly a corking. His first contact.
Yeah, just even the way that knee compresses under her as she lands, and then the weight of Broughton lands on top of her as well.
We're totally getting here.
Yeah, absolutely. Angie's a good physio though. She'll get her back if she's good to go. Angie will get her there.
I tell you what, I have liked Lauren Brown since she's come on. She's been doing a lot of work out of dummy half. Quite often jumps out and creates some options. Causes the defence to react to her, and it just opens up a little bit more space in and around the ruck.
Heads right in.
Telstra has some of the best defence in the business, tackling millions of cyber threats every day. Do they chance their arm here? It'll be the final play of the first half. Brigginshaw, what's she cooking up? It is chip and chase time. And well done, Minal Sinapati. Away this time, and the siren should sound. What a first half. All Broncos early, and the Titans able to hit back to lock it all up after 35 minutes, 10-all. Later on, first game of our doubleheader. Here's a cracker here. As Brigginshaw fields the kickoff. Asala to go forward, bringing it outside of her own red zone. Denman. And a couple of comps with Brisbane. Gray back on the angle. Lenadusi. Interesting choice to bring her off the bench. Such a fantastic presence in the middle for the Broncos. Brigginshaw kicking game a feature in that first half, but starts with a shank here. Out on the full.
Well, it's the second time this game that they've gone for the early kick there. And, you know, Speedy, you spoke earlier about the round oval with the square pitch dropped in the middle of it. It can be a little bit deceiving when you're going to try and kick close to touch. Lose your bearings a little bit sometimes, but Ali will be annoyed at that. She'll be asking for a big defensive effort from the team.
Titans start inside Broncos territory for their first set in the second half.
Hold her in. Go one.
Around the dummy half, Hancock, and the threat of the offload.
Chelsea!
And Adusi saw to that.
Hold!
Parisi, heavily involved since she came on. Now Hale. Kiriaratu. Oh, deft pass. How did she hold on to that in the end? She coughed it up, Phillips. And Broughton was all over it.
Well, again, it's the second time we've seen that little play. And unfortunately, this time for Kiriaratu, it just doesn't go to hand. I thought Caitlin almost had it, but Gal Broughton was all over her there, forcing that error through. And the Broncos, Fergal, see a sigh of relief that they didn't give away points off the back of that error.
Yeah, for sure. Great pressure from Gal Broughton. Through the defence, you can apply pressure up both sides of the footy, and she showed how to do it brilliantly there.
Straight up now, Millie!
Well, there's another transfer of pressure.
There's concern there for the young halfback Lofupor after she dived on the footy, but she was okay to play it.
Wait!
Error from Hufunga. She was a star for New Zealand at last year's World Cup. Titans with a chance to take their first lead here. Kiriaratu chiming in Politi, moving okay, but read by Hufunga. Get back to centre field.
Well, the Titans just need to get themselves into a bit of run shape here. They're in a good field position. Kiriaratu.
Holding it up for Phillips. One-on-one tackle made by Broughton again. That's her assignment right now, dealing with Phillips. They get to the last. Kiriaratu for Brown. Shifting it via hands. Nice pick up, Bents. Chapman trying to work it out now. Oh, Brigginshaw effects a one-on-one strip effectively and gets the ball back for her team.
Well, she had to play at that. She absolutely had to play at that football because Jamie Chapman, when she has a little bit of broken line in front of her, she's got the pace to absolutely burn you. So Brigginshaw does really well to come across and play at the footy to force that.
They've done this a lot tonight, the Titans. Able to drive the Broncos backwards after contact. Teitzel the victim that time. Now Denman going the same way. Really good signs defensively for the Titans, who mean business this season after a disappointing wooden spoon last time around. Now Bent's a little sore after copping one in the cheek. This game is taking its toll. Leonard Ducey with some post-contact meters.
Wait! Hold!
Gould. Noor Asala standing in the tackle for a long time, and now Brigginshaw getting her bearings before the kick. It's off the outside of the boot a little again, but okay for Politi to run onto.
It was a pretty safe set from the Broncos. They looked like they just wanted to take some metres through the middle, not force any more errors. But Vania Politi got to start their set on the 40-metre line. They've got some pretty good territory. Well, they're running towards it now.
Bass, one of the try scorers in that first half turnaround. Kiriaratu got the number 6 on her back, but playing as the dominant half in this young pairing. Lofupor. Hale. Puts her hands on the footy and has made a stack of tackles, leading the tackle count for all comers with 28 already, Georgia. Kiriaratu, inventive little kick over the top. From the
That was much better, excuse me, kick pressure there by the Broncos, forcing Kirioratu to actually step off that foot, come back on the inside. And in the end, the kick just could have went straight to Folovini there. And that in turn gave the Broncos a really good opportunity to work themselves out of their half. Lockie, I think you've got something for us on the sideline.
You know, they're all bunched up, the Broncos. This is where the Titans are winning the contest. This is their line speed. That's how they get in the field position. That was a good run there, but not a lot of creativity with the Broncos, just based on their fatigue. And that's a good run by Broughton.
Right through Gale Broughton and throwing the dummy to no one in particular, but they all bought it. And the Broncos are back on top.
What a player-oo, how good is that? Seeing Gal brought in some space, and I thought after last week she was easing her way into the halves. We haven't seen her line up at 5'8" yet, but that running game has well and truly come in, and we're going to get to see here on the Harvey Norman replay. She bumped off a couple of defenders on the left and then on the inside, but this pace, I love the footy in two hands, the dummy to no one. Vani Politi fell for it. But that's a lot of strength to break through those tackles. 3 tackles. You can't see it in the slow motion at the moment, but she has got a lot of pace. Turned Vani Politi the wrong way, and what a finish.
She sold her an absolute bag of lollies, didn't she? But you know what I love more? I think it was the thriller move at the end. That was her try celebration. It was absolutely fantastic. Sorry, I was just watching Belinda Sharp in the background. I thought she was trying to bring one of the Titans players in, but this is a really good view here. So Lockie was speaking about how the Broncos are just fallen into that little bit of rut of safety because of fatigue. And this individual brilliance, this can really break a game open when it comes down to that arm wrestle. And Gale Broughton, we've seen what she can do at fullback. And now I agree with you, Fergo, warming into that role of 5'8", really owning the fact that it's a running 5'8" role for her. And I think it's a really good fit for the Bronx.
Thriller was 1982, and it's still very much alive.
Yes, nothing wrong with 1982.
It's only 27, Gale Broughton. Gone back through the archives to be aware of what Michael Jackson was doing with that manoeuvre.
Everything old is new again.
Very popular on TikTok, I'd imagine, the old Thriller routine, as Brigginshaw adds 2 more. One, two. So the Broncos first to score in the second half. 6-point lead. It's a long kickoff. And Matic desperate to get the front rower involved. Almost mucked it up with Noor Osama.
That's Lauren Brown with the giant boot. She's got a great kick. Using it to great effect there for the Titans.
Great go forward here for the Broncos, who've struggled in that category. And Lena Ducey gets a penalty off the back of it. 2 of the biggest runs they've made in the entire game, and they get rewarded for it.
Well, before halftime, or at halftime, I was having a look at the stats, and none of the forwards had run close to 100 metres. The closest was Shannon Martel, and that's because there was so many instances of ill discipline from both sides, so they were just gifted metres up the field. I think seeing those front rowers just starting to chew up metres, that's going to be beneficial come the back end of this game.
Broughton again. Matic chiming in. Sazolka didn't go to a winger. He was unmarked. Broughton just getting so heavily involved. Was the fullback for Parramatta in their run to the grand final last year, but in the 5'8" role in 2023 and thriving. And she is again the gold medalist. On to Brigginshaw. Tasman Gray. Great contact and offload. Broughton with the second phase. Tells Denman to straighten things up, and she nearly poked her way out through the other side. Gould. Lena Ducey Again in this fixture, Chelsea Lenarduzzi over the top of the Titans. Did she ground it?
Tackle
I
5.
have to see this from the
I
opposite
have no
angle.
try. Just confirm she drops it over the line, please.
Well, Belinda was in a great position there. But this is a lovely play because you can see the space that opened up prior to this run by Lenarduzzi.
Yep.
How many times do we see this happen where she just muscles her way
Grounds
over?
the ball.
Oh yeah, hung loose.
Definitely lost, but how many times do we see that happen where she can just find her way to her front once she gets over the line?
Yeah, that's it. It's the spin almost in motion. But I thought the thing that worked that set, and we've seen it a lot this game, is
Chelsea
actually
Lenarduzzi loses the ball, attempt to ground it. We have a knock on.
the
Have a decision.
combination between the two halves. Gal Broughton and Ali Brigginshaw combine at least a couple of times every set that they're
That's right.
attacking,
20.
and they're just posing so many threats.
20. Hang on, hang on. No try.
That's a try
20-metre
saver
restart.
effectively by Georgia
Wait.
Hale, who was under Lenarduzzi, seemingly stricken, but able to jolt it free with that hand.
She's been outstanding for the Titans. I love the way that she attacks,
Lavinia, Mariah.
often coming in as first receiver, but she's made the most tackles by a country mile from this Titan side. That one probably the most important so far.
Yeah, file that one away in the 45th minute. Lenarduzzi denied. She's carried 5 Titans over the line before to score in a Queensland derby, but not that time. Shaylee Bent determined, got rid of Brigginshaw. Gained some bonus metres there. The footwork from Elliston, who started a little bit wider in her NRLW career and happily in the front row now. Kiriaratu throwing dummies and almost out the other side. Lenarduzzi tried to reef it clear and has the footy now. After the held call, doesn't get away with
You can't challenge it. It's a strip after the held call.
She does love going for the strip, Chelsea, and she had a really good grip on this ball as Kiriaratu went in. I saw her really latch onto it. But in that position, the referee had called tackle complete. And Kiriaratu did a good thing.
So they're knocking on the door of another reply here in the Westpac red zone. Almost level in terms of play the balls, these two. Titans just edging front in that category. Brown looking left. Will go to that short side for Lofipaw. And spinning her way towards that try line. Brigginshaw under the footy though.
Tackle 3, Sienna. You can have a marker. Wait. 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 Let's go, Ali.
Captain the Queensland under-19 to success in their Origin clash. Alongside Kiriaratu was Lofipaw.
Chelsea, out of that ball.
Jorgensen also part of that team. She was player of the match in that game. Kiriaratu for Jorgensen. Ready and waiting for the damaging young ball runner. Martor. Oh, the front rowers combine. Another reply, and look at the smile on the dial of Ruard Sips.
I was going to say, Roo, you'd love that one.
I always love a front rower try. What have they got for us here? What are they scheming? What, is this a human pyramid? No. Oh. So Lauren Brown is a dog walker by trade. Before she joined the fire, she was a newly minted firefighter. So that's, I think, what that was about. But on the Harvey Norman replay, you just see that again, that disconnect on the right edge defence. Marto does really, really well to just keep her eyes on what the defensive line was actually doing. She looked to play out the back, saw that the line had actually shot up, and then she plays nice and short to Elliston, who has been very strong for the Titans tonight, and her footwork has been really good.
Yeah, her footwork is what made it happen. She saw Ali Brigginshaw just hold off. Marto held the footy up, and then that late footwork to take the inside shoulder. And she beat her for pace too. The defensive line weren't moving anywhere near as quick as the attackers there, so really well done from the Titans, but good identification. Holds the footy up, changes her line. Ali Brigginshaw, we don't quite often see it, but she was off the pace then in defence.
And a very good goal kicker is Loz Brown. We're all locked up again.
that. Stay on side here. Stay on side.
What a spectacular sight it is at the Gabba, and it's turning into a cliffhanger, Lockie.
Well, it sure is. It's been a quality contest. The momentum shifts regularly. We thought the Broncos, once they scored their points, it might be their turn, but then the Titans hit back, and this is where the key players in both teams just need to stand up. There's just over 20 minutes to go. Kicking game really important.
Jorgensen might learn from that kick-off routine again. If she put her foot over the touchline, she might have been able to get a penalty on halfway for an out on the full job.
I was thinking the same thing, Speedy.
Of course, she was bamboozled by the bounce of the initial kick-off tonight. What about Martel? A try assist from the front rower, and now a 20-metre run to go inside the 40. Hail now for Elliston, the try scorer. And she takes 2 or 3 Broncos with her, an extra 8 metres after contact. Short side for Loffiput. Kick in behind, looks heavy, and gives up a 7-tackle set. It had been perfect until then.
Yeah, it was perfect because they had the Broncos defence on the back foot, so they had all the momentum. It's very hard to make decisions when you're pedaling backwards, but too much on the boot there. 7-tackle set. This is huge for the Broncos. It's such a close game, Speedy. How good.
And be at Totally Workwear Stadium on Saturday, August 12, as the Broncos clash with the Eels in round 4 of the NRLW season. This is where real pace meets real power. Head on. Secure your seats today at nrl.com/tickets, or of course you can catch it right here on Lions Widewater Sports from 3 p.m. on that Saturday.
Held!
Every game, every week, live on Nines Widewater Sports. Clark up to the 40. Eventually dragged down by Jorgensen. Brill back on as the dummy half. She played for the Titans last year and the Roosters, now a Bronco. Well read, Politi. Tried to hit the ground running and bust some more tackles after busting a record 16 in one game last week.
Yeah, she just takes that so effortlessly and then just builds speed. A good offload here by Chapman. Builds a lot of speed as she comes in to make contact with the defensive line. She's such an asset for this Titans outfit.
Helping out dummy half to get Bass involved.
Tasman! Stand up! Wait!
Already assumed that role for a couple of players, but now Loz Brown moves into position.
Destiny, Robbie, together!
Martor takes them up towards halfway. Kirira Atu gives it everything. Should be comfortable for Maddock. A little bobble. Oh, Jorgensen in and under. And that's what caught the eye in that under-19s Origin defence like that.
Well, she certainly did. She was so strong in that 19s clash. And it's good to see after she had that bit of a wobbly start that she's worked her way back into the game.
Won the Nat Dwyer medal for best on ground in that fixture. And her mum actually played against her coach, Karen Murphy. And they go back a long way, the Jorgensens and the Titans coach.
Lauren, let go of the ball! Square Shailey, wait!
Riggenshaw throwing dummies, trying to open up space. What a read that was from Williams Guthrie, who said that a few times in her young NRLW career. 3 markers was interesting. Broughton, throws it with the touching. It looked beautiful, but was a long way off the mark.
Well, there was opportunities because, as you said, 3 in the marker. Gail Broughton just looks so dangerous when she's running the footy. You could see Emily Bass come in off her wing. So the option was there. It was just the execution of that pass. She'll want that one back.
Good opportunity to milk a penalty as well if they'd run to one of those 3 markers, perhaps.
Yep, that's that footy IQ. It'll come.
Now!
17 minutes to go. 35-minute halves in NRLW, and it's been absorbing footy on this Thursday night. Credit to the players putting on this kind of show, backing up so quickly from round one. And now space. Williams-Guthrie for Bass. Eyes up the fullback, and Maddock takes her down one-on-one.
It's only tackle 3 though, Speedy, and they're 18 metres out from their own line. A few tackles up the sleeve.
Now they look to shift it again. Back to centre field for Hale. And they lost ground, but they're back to centre field. Martor. Lofty paw for Bent. Off the long run, trying to come back on the angle. Brigginshaw ready and waiting with Denman. Where do they go on the last? Little kick in behind for Brown. Finds the end goal, and the chaser is Martor.
Oh, so close. Such a brave run in the lead up. She was able to stay on her feet. Shaylee Bent, and then Loz Brown. A great option there. But have a look at Ivania Politi on the inside. She holds the defence there, which makes this possible out to the edge to Emily Bass. It keeps that space out there. So if you're sitting back and if you see any high shots, watch Ivania Politi and the work that she gets through, but particularly off the ball, just poses so many threats to that defensive line.
Beats. And they might try and set Politi up for a pet play here now. The Titans still looking for their first lead of the ball game. They've come from behind a couple of times already. Kiriaratu, here is Politi. Oh, look out. Fonga Vinny got to her in her face and touched that one for a set restart.
Play on, 0.
Now dominating in terms of playing the balls inside that Westpac red zone. The Gold Coast Titans, the visitors here at the Gabba tonight in the derby. And Chapman quiet by her standards so far. Her moment yet to come. Lofty paw out of dummy half. Been close a couple of times to a try on her starting debut. Awkward looking play the ball, given the all clear by the ref. Belinda Sharp, Politi. Already burst through once tonight.
They've got to come to the right.
Second phase for Brown. Dragged down by Gray. An important tackle. There's confirmation. Westpac red zone was.
25 tackles in this red zone here. They've got to come up with points now.
Lovely
Jorgensen
kick.
as well.
Trouble for Broughton. And hopefully Jorgensen didn't get a touch on that. Otherwise, it's a 7 tackle set rather than a dropout. They'll check that out in the bunker.
Yeah, this will get looked at on the way through, but watching it live, it looked very, very close. But the play before, when Brown gets tackled with the ball, they had numbers out on their edge. No, that's all clean. They had numbers out on their edge, and the Broncos only had 3 defenders outside the post, so they need to get a little bit more heads up and get some comms happening.
Stop.
Shift to where the space is.
Okay. It's touched off you guys, so it's a knock on. So we're going out to the 20.
They checked another angle, Ruan. There's other angles available in the
20-minute
bunker, and I
restart.
thought we needed Snicko to confirm whether
Comes
Jorgensen
off Riley.
got a touch on that.
Hotspot, we are at the Gabba, maybe hotspot.
And clearly she did. So it took a while, but Dave Munro weighed in, and that
Riley,
is
she touched it, yeah.
a fingertip in it.
Yeah, must have been.
You saw the disappointment from Jorgensen as well, which was a bit of a giveaway.
Riley, up now! Wait,
How close she did come. And on
Jess,
such
off
fine
the arm.
margins, games can turn.
Wait here, hold! Hold! Wait back, come on.
Up over halfway in the 7 tackle set.
Georgia, off the ball! Orange square!
13 minutes to go before full time. Golden point there if we need it.
Shannon, move!
Grill calls Brigginshaw out of it. Picks up some good meters here. Fatigue beginning to creep in as we approach the hour mark. Broughton on the final play. Maddock, no one behind her. What a tackle. How good has the defence been from NWG, sister of SPW?
Yeah, that was outstanding, ball and all, and it had to be because it was the 5th and last. So couldn't afford a shift or a kick to get away. She hit her high, wrapped the ball, and got her to the ground. A perfectly executed tackle one-on-one.
I think a lot of her sevens background comes to the fore there, just identifying where the threat is. Hufanga had run through the line and she saw that Maddock was going to get it out the back, showed good leg speed to get there and shut it down.
Chapman, nice work. Gets the offload away to Lofipaw, who threw a hospital pass to Martor, but she was up for the challenge. Did well to hold on. And 3 Broncos in her face, and Elliston off the back of it. They're looking pretty sprightly here, the Titans. Martor again. Kiriaratu, footwork on Gray. Shaping for an offload, holds on. So she's out of play on the last here. Going for Lofipaw to take over. Call for it from Brown, and goes high, decent kick here. And getting through Chapman, some kind of take by Dan.
That was a wonderful take by Dan, but also a great 5th tackle option, well executed. Very tricky because she is a right foot kicker and she was on the left side of the ruck, so she took her time. Fortunately, she had that time and executed brilliantly. Could have ended up a different story if Jamie Chapman had got up off the ground there, I reckon.
Lockie.
Well, the Titans got the Broncos right where they want them. Fatigue in both teams is starting to set in, but when you're fatigued, you stop talking. At the moment, the Broncos are very quiet, while the Titans have still got a fair bit of energy with their communication at the moment.
Desperate for bragging rights, these two teams. Close neighbours. This time Broughton elects to kick on the last, and Leety right place again. To the sideline there.
Seen a big jump in work rate for the starting middles of the Titans as well, just eating up a lot of metres, dominating some contact, taking heavy and tough passes, just working through it really, really nicely. And things are... Slight breakdown there.
Oh, great. And that doesn't tickle when you get jammed in the turf like that. Just checking all of those discs are in place. Loz Brown. Hale taken down. 35 out here on the last. Kiriaratu with space for the kick. And Maddock can see Politi out the corner of her eye, able to stay grounded though as the fullbacks go head to head.
Well, this is right now, this is where Murph will want the Titans to squash up in defence, get their spacing nice and tight, get some good line speed, but remain disciplined. They must slow down this ruck, they can't give away easy metres.
Jada Ferguson just on, was eager to get into dummy half there, called out of... Oh! Big hit, Jorgensen! Welcome to the NRLW. She's going to be a star.
Yes. That was a bone rattler.
Oh, show me again. Look at this. She hit her so hard she had to fix her own headgear.
And now the mistake comes. Lenarduzzi loses the footy. What a team-lifting moment that is when a teenager provides that.
I love this. I love everything about this. It was a good run by Fongavini, but Marto over the top, Jorgensen underneath, just hits, drives, lands on top, up off her knees as well, puts all of her pressure into the breadbasket. That is a really uncomfortable position to be stuck in. And then off the next play, they force an error out of the Broncos. And Lockie spoke about how the Broncos really seemed on the rack here, Fergo. The Titans, full of energy.
I thought she was going to let that one go, Jamie Chapman. Yeah, you're right. They're full of energy. They're applying a lot of pressure to this Broncos side and making it hard to get out of their own end. Jorgensen, 18 years old, and putting shots on like that against the big girls. How good.
Ball comes loose, and Lenarduzzi pinned again here and scores a level. I'll tell you who could stop this, Jorgensen. She's a goal kicker, but Loz Brown's handy too.
Lauren Brown could too, absolutely. Oh, hang on.
Have to take it too.
Ricky Brayley-Narty
is on, so that could mean that Lauren Brown
Georgia,
is off.
taking the 2. Shot a goal. Dave, can you just confirm?
And Jorgensen maybe the option here. Kicking tee coming out. Who's going to take the shot? Kiriaratu.
Kiriaratu's the other kicker, or the main kicker, it appears, for the Titans.
Choice of teenagers for Karen Murphy. And the pressure falls on Shante Kiriaratu.
20 in. Shante. Shante. Shante.
Tried to sneak a few extra metres there.
Mark's here.
Linda wasn't falling
Do you
for it.
still want it? Do you still want to kick for goal? This is your mark here.
So the Titans are arguing, but that's actually where Lenarduzzi was offside to start with, not actually where the tackle was completed.
Okay, you just got to be 10 metres.
Darren Lockyer, down to you.
They'll let me know.
Well, the other important part of this kick is kick it dead. If you miss it, it has to go dead. Otherwise, it's a turnover. And that's exactly
Make sure we stay on
Titans
Daniel.
are on a roll then. So let's see if you can get it through the post first.
Back off the upright, another consideration, of course. Broncos wait 10 metres out. Kiriaratu, all of the pressure, just dragged it. But they do get the ball back.
This will be a 20-metre dropout, so the Titans will get the ball back.
How good is the NRLW weekly podcast? Marley Silver and Ruan Sims talking it over for about half an hour. Put it in your diary, week in, week out, to keep you up to date.
What were you doing there, Roo? Showing everyone how fast you can run.
Yeah. I was like, this is how fast I run in my sleep. That looks so awkward.
Beautiful piece it was to begin our broadcast tonight as well. Marley Silver starring for us on the sideline and from a rugby league family.
Yes, her sister is the physio, one of the physios for the Sharks. Her dad, Rod, as we all know, Rocket Rod Silver, in the police force, does a lot of work with the youth around the area. Beautiful family.
Oh, Martel gets it on the advantage line from Brayley Narty. Timing to perfection there. And now Kiriaratu, little kick in behind, looks good. Maddock did well, but gets swallowed and swamped by the Titans, who are desperate for victory here.
Great read from Maddie. Can she put her body on the line? You can see she's pulled up pretty sore. She might have copped it from the side. I don't know if it was a leg or a rib, but she exposed herself to save a try. So very well read. Get a look at it here.
Probably the best kick was Kiriaratu's put in all night too. And it was a wonderful chase from the outside. Unsurprisingly, Niall Williams-Guthrie
I was gonna
leading
say
it
that.
there.
Let's get down to Lockie.
Well, this one's for either Alana or Roo to answer. Like, it's field goal time. Who's the field goal for the Titans?
Well, you'd be,
Who's the player?
yeah, for the Titans, you'd be looking at Kiriaratu would be one of your options. If Lauren Brown was out there, I would say Lauren Brown.
Yeah, I think it's a shame that Lauren Brown isn't out there, but then either one of the halves for the Broncos, Lockie could slot it easily as well. They need that territory though, don't they?
We've still got two more interchange available, so Loz Brown could come back on.
I'd almost find a spot for Lauren Brown to come back on. I think she's one of those, we mentioned it earlier, one of those really versatile players. You could also even move Brittany Brayley-Narty into the middle somewhere, but I'd be finding a spot for her to come on because she can be a game changer, particularly in that attacking role, and a solid defender as well.
Stay on side here.
So Maddock okay. Does Broughton go short?
Stay on.
Shapes on that kind of angle to go short. It goes fairly long. 25 metres out at land, so Elliston can take it back inside that red zone.
I think if Julia Robinson was out there, they'd probably look to go short. She's got a good aerial game.
Bent footwork on full display there. 4.5 to go.
Wait.
Score here, and they'd be tough to run down. Kiriaratu. The outside back's a little behind the 5'8" that time.
They just missed their assignment there, the right edge. Jorgensen was very flat, but the rest were deep.
Pass on the outside, great hands, Chapman. Gets through Dan. And there was backup for the Broncos. 2 more plays on this set. Brisbane digging in here. Don't want to fall to 0-2 in the young season. Beaten by the Roosters last week. Kiriaratu kicking again, finds a passage through. Broughton under pressure. What a chase. Jorgensen, a tackling machine.
Hasn't she stepped up? She's really stepped up in confidence as this game has progressed. We've seen us with some really great hard-hitting defence, but this is just very smart, making sure she stays onside with her kicker and then puts enough pressure on her to force that again, that 6 again for the goal line dropout. Something's got to give.
And great composure as well from Kiriaratu, who missed the go-ahead penalty goal and has come up with 2 forced dropouts afterwards.
Yeah, it looks nice. The ball looks nice coming off her boot with those angled rubber kicks.
And the Broncos defence hold on.
Chelsea!
Brayley Nati calling the shots from dummy half. Kiriaratu for Politi. A little cumbersome there as she ran behind Jorgensen, but it's still alive here for Brayley Nati. 2018 Dally M medalist as a Bronco. Loffiput. And again taken down 1 metre out. 2.5 to go. Awkward play the ball. Field goal. Kiriaratu, the teenager! And doesn't like it, just missed. It was closer than the penalty goal attempt.
It was a really good setup. Very, very smart. Had herself set up at a good depth. But as she struck it, it just pulled to the left off the boot. A couple of missed opportunities, but they have been able to build a little bit more pressure. So now remaining disciplined in defence here is going to be key for the Titans.
Jorgensen again, down low. A player you want to avoid going forward if you're playing the Titans. Nua Asala. Important run and second phase off the offload. Jada Ferguson, the freshest Bronco. Just came on about 5 minutes ago. Denman, tackle was high from Brayley Nati. But okay. Crowd getting behind the Broncos here at the Gabba. Might be their final set in regulation. What can they do with the footy? Pass hits the deck. That's a negative play-on-play forward. Broughton. Back to centre field they go. Nua Asala. Too far out for a field goal, you'd think. The final play here, Broughton and now Brigginshaw. Pass out in front of Sizolka. What a take. Oh, popped out the back. Ben just has to dive on it. The teenager took a massive risk there.
Out on that right edge, it looked like the Broncos had a few extra numbers there. So the Titans did very well to get in and try and shut that down. But again, Politi putting her hand up, just chewing up post-contact meters.
Final minute here of regulation. Golden point. They're seemingly destined for that. Barring a miracle here. 60 metres from home, the Titans. How adventurous do they get here late in the count?
Well, I think they either look for a late offload, there we go, or something special from Ivania Politi could do it too.
Williams Guthrie on the outside, keeping her balance. Hufunga stuck to the task, and Broughton tidies up.
Ooh.
Clock won't freeze here. There won't be time.
There's a lot of extra referees out there, Speedy.
Siren sounds. And we are headed to Golden Point. What a classic in the Queensland Derby. It is 16-all after 70 minutes. What a fabulous game, Roo.
This is a beautiful game of footy to watch. We've seen the lead change hands. We've seen it come back to level scores. After the dominance that the Broncos showed in that first 10 minutes, for the Titans to right the ship, that gives them heaps of confidence. But for me, Fergo, this last 20 minutes has been all Titans. They have been the ones that have been dominating possession. They have been the ones that have been playing real front foot footy.
Yeah, they have, and they've also been playing with a lot of territory as well. So they've put the Broncos under all sorts of pressure. We saw them get a couple of repeat sets. I think the way that this plays out is territory is key. We've seen NRLW sides, but both of these teams at different times look vulnerable defending their line.
Okay,
So
you tell us you call Jordan.
and also big moments.
Yeah.
And And I just tell you
Heads.
That's us. We
Yes.
receive.
So which way do you want to run?
Oh, do we pick?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
How good, Ali Brugenshaw. So the Broncos are going to
Flex,
receive the
which
footy.
way? Yeah, just go that way.
Okay.
Same way
So
that
you're
we're
running this way, so you're
But I
kicking
think
off
Ali
this way.
Brugenshaw
Thank you.
could be involved in one of those big moments. We quite often see it
Yes.
happen.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
points win.
they've got to make sure the Titans need to make sure that they pin the Broncos down in their own half. They don't give the Broncos an opportunity to get away that field goal because Ali can pull the trigger on that very, very quickly.
And none of this, we won, they're giving to us. None of this. Yeah. It's fucking fun with you, Jada. Pick the body language up.
Well, you can just hear her there, just trying to rev up her troops. So the Titans have got it over us. We need to really step it up now.
And she said we'll have the footy, and she also gets the luxury of saying which way they want to run. But do you like getting the footy first?
Well, it gives them the chance to attack first, doesn't it? And Ali just spoke about their attitude and their body language in defence. I think she hit the nail on the head there. They're a team that are so dangerous in attack, but they need to stand up and stay connected in defence and to pin this Titans team down. So great mindset. I'd absolutely be wanting the first crack at attack.
Right on, Shante.
Coaches getting their messages across from on high, up in the coaches' boxes here at the Gabba. There is Jada Ferguson, who was
Stay on!
mentioned during that Ali Brigginshaw rev up. And the Broncos wanted the footy first. It was awkward for Brigginshaw. And in fact, but enough for Nu'uausala to bring it back with purpose.
Georgia! Off the ball!
Just the second golden
Shannon,
point
Shannon.
in NRLW history. Broncos on the wrong end of things in round 4 of last season, beaten by the Dragons 1918.
Lock in, Riley! Hold! Hold!
They emerge victorious here at the Gabba. First score wins.
Held, held!
Here is Ferguson. Bree Eels, who started the game, back on for her second stint.
Release!
And locked up by Elliston.
Last
Safe
tackle.
stuff from the
Green
Broncos.
square. Wait! Wait! Stay square! Hold! Hold!
Brigginshaw waits.
Wait!
Keeps it low and safe. And Politi to bring it back. Pretty good set first up from Brisbane in Golden Point.
They get themselves down into really good field position. Now defensively,
You're up.
they
Wait!
must maintain that discipline. They don't want to gift any easy meters to the Titans to get out of trouble. And they don't want to gift them any extra tackles as well.
Get it together!
Lockie.
Hold!
Yeah, good set from the Bronx, but they need to back it up with their defence and their line speed. It's not there in this set at the moment. You feel like Titans are going to go all the way up the field. So, yeah, it's hard in Golden Point. Fatigue plays its part. And the Titans, sometimes it just comes down to an error that'll gift field position. So, field position and ball control are key here right now for both teams.
I think a big difference in this game has been post-contact meters. The Titans have over 100 more post-contact meters. So that speaks volumes about this Broncos defence. They need to get numbers in the tackle and try and stop them in their tracks.
Kiriaratu into space, and it bounced on nicely for Maddock.
And Fergo, that game breaker you spoke of, Lauren Brown, she's back on the field. So I'd be looking for her to be able to pull the trigger on a field goal.
Yeah, I like that. I like that they've found a spot for her. She's too good to keep on the sideline in this big game, big moment.
How close was that? Fongavini running behind a teammate. The Titans appeal for the penalty. Lucky the winger gave herself up there. Otherwise, it was a shot for goal to win it. Ufunga and Brown up in her face quickly. Not a whole lot of go forward on this set either. They're still inside their own 30 here. Brigginshaw. They almost fell for the dummy. She's out of play on the last, so someone else has to do the kicking, and Broughton into position nicely. A tumbler, it'll find the grass. Bouncing ball, who wants it? Tough for Bass. Under pressure, knocked it on, and that's the mistake the Broncos were preying on.
Well, didn't they need that? Sent up a little bit of a wobbler, and that bounce played in the favour of the Broncos, but it was the kick chase. It was the pressure of having those players there on Emily Bass that earned them the footy back, and what an opportunity here. So close to the line.
Watch out for Brigginshaw to get into position. A try would do as well. Noor Asala tackled by Jorgensen. Brigginshaw. Oh, Tonsel! Just short. What a tackle. Politi again from dummy half. Another crack. And she's short as well. 2 more plays. Brigginshaw wrong side for a field goal look right now. So they go to Broughton. Through the tackle of Kiriaratu. And now Ferguson. It's Adelaide footy from the Broncos, knocked down for 6 more off the hand of Middleston Apati.
The Titans really need to make sure that they're shoring up this defensive line. The Broncos are running riot.
Brigginshaw with the footwork.
Okay, let us stand, Shaylee.
So they won't get through the full set here.
Wait.
5 minutes each way, so they've got to plan this if they want to finish it with a field goal. Brigginshaw calling the shots now.
Please.
She must get into position. She's in front of the uprights, the 7. Broughton, field goal. Gale Broughton misses.
Time off.
Both teams have come so close to the 1-pointer.
Well, obviously they were using Ali as the foil there, just getting the Titans to think that she's going to be the one that kicks the goal and hitting Gail Broughton out the back. Good pressure. Shannon Marto and Jess Elliston have had massive second halves for the Titans. Shannon Marto has run for 227 metres and she's made 26 tackles. She's had 87 post-contact metres and she still had the energy in the 74th minute to chase down that potential field goal.
That's what you want, isn't it? It's those effort players, and that was a game-changing effort play from Shannon Marto. After getting through all that work, that extra effort, putting the pressure on, could have potentially won her team the game. We'll see.
Just time for 2 plays on this set. Hancock just came back on.
Well, they'll be looking to her to generate that offload. The second phase play.
Ferguson knows what the refs have been saying. Go back on the mark, but Hancock given the all clear. Here is the offload. Final play of the first half of Golden Point, touched by the Broncos. And Bass can chance her arm because it's a knock-on against Brisbane, but just holds onto the footy, and we go again in the second half of Golden Point.
This is a big game. We knew, like Fergo, you spoke about this pre-game. You said you were really excited. You thought this was going to be an absolute blockbuster. It's living up to that billing.
Sure is. Big game, some key moments. But again, I think the territory plays a really big part in this. We saw the Broncos reap the rewards, get down that other end, but the scramble, the determination, the extra efforts from the Titans, they're hanging in there. What a game of footy. How good is this?
What about that goal line defence a couple of minutes ago by the Titans? Politi, unsurprisingly, involved in both of those tackles. That's been immense.
Great shout, Roo, on the effort from Martor there. You could see on that replay the way she changed the angle of the kick because Broughton was going to slot that without Martor getting in her face.
She was between the sticks. That's huge. As a coach, I tell you what, Karen Murphy, that'll be one of her favourite moments of the game because for your front rower, and Roo spoke about some of her stats, which are absolutely outstanding. Run for 227 metres, made 26 tackles, post-contact. That effort.
Oh, what a mistake! Offside from the kickoff. Noor Asala was about 3 or 4 metres in front and could not be ignored by the referee, Belinda Sharp.
The opposition prop, Roo.
Oh, that one is a coach killer. That one hurts. That kind of an error at any time in the game, you just can't have that, and this gifts the Titans a wonderful opportunity to slot that field goal or even score some points through a try.
So Kiriaratu has had a shot, but Loz Brown is now on the ground, so look out for the number 9 to get into position at some stage. Brayley Nancy knows that, tells Loz to get into position, takes over at dummy half. Hancock doesn't need to push an offload now. They are in position already after 3 plays. And Brown looks like being the one who'll take the shot eventually here. Martor. Ball locked up by Gray. When do they take the shot? Brown gets a high ball, gets underneath it. Lost Brown has made it!
There she is.
And the Titans win the derby in golden points. 77th minute, and they start the season 2-0. The Broncos are 0-2, and they're all falling down with delight.
I don't even care that it wasn't a try. That should count for Try July. That was fabulous. What we spoke about this, Virgo, we spoke that she was going to be the one that was probably going to pull the trigger on this. You saw the lead up, you saw the setup, you saw Braylon Nasi jump in there and work that dummy half roll. Look at this from this angle. Nuasala tries hard to get there, but this trigger pull under huge pressure, that was magic.
She had to come back on the field and they needed to find a place for her. I think huge raps to Karen Murphy in identifying that, how close the game is, and what a game changer Lauren Brown is. But the execution of that drop kick under pressure was absolutely perfect. You couldn't find another player in rugby league that could slot a field goal that good from where she did it.
Yeah, a high pass from Braylon Nati, but didn't panic with the oncoming traffic, knew she could get the elevation on it. Loz Brown, a star, and what a game we have seen. What a fitting start to Harvey Norman Women in League round. Full time here at the Gabba. The Titans snatch it, 17 points to 16.